Hello, hello. I'm in a place called Glenridding. I'm in the Lake District. I'm heading down to Ullswater right now. It's a little bit nippy. I'm a little bit too early because autumn's probably about a week or two away. Some of the leaves are gone, but most of the trees are still green. It is cold. I'm going to put a hat on. Yeah, this place has been quite busy at the weekend. It's now a weekday and it's near enough dead. There's some holiday makers. I'm hoping I can head down to the front and I can just hook a left and then follow the water's edge around Ullswater. There's a tiny little track that goes off on the side. I'm just going to follow that down. It's called the Ullswater Way. I'm just going to walk down there and see if there's any photographs worth taking. It's a little bit more windy down here than I thought it would be. But there's some lovely little, quite accessible beaches. And look at those roots around that tree there, for example. Yeah, I'm just going to sort of explore along here. I have no idea. I've literally just showed up down here and I'm hoping for the best. I might walk away with no photos, but I have a location to come to should I wake up early or decide to come out late again. Hopefully the wind will die down and I'll be able to get a few shots. But this is looking great. Look at this. Look at this. They've got a heather down there. That's not something I've ever thought about. Some nice gnarly roots here. And then you get a lovely little bench that looks out to that. It's one of the old steamers coming down. Not sure what I'm pointing at there. Probably the island. But there's a boat coming down. Look at that. It's just absolutely stunning out this way. As you can see, I'm right up against this edge here of the shoreline. I've got a road which is about 10 metres in that direction, but I've got a beautiful scene here. I've got this boulder here, which is that one, on the far left hand side of the image, and then I've got one in the middle and then a little bit of the larger one in the background. I don't want to get all of it in because I think it might dominate over the others, so I've only got a little bit of it there. I've got the tree with the foliage, which is slightly half and half yellow and green, and then I've got the lovely mountain range that you can just make out on this top corner of the image, and I'm hoping it makes a nice composition. I'm a little bit worried that that might be a little bit too much negative space. Don't really like doing that. I'd rather fill it with the whole tree or something like that. I've just gone back in there to try and use an ND8 I've got a magnetic case series. I've got a polarizer on the front of it, and I've just stacked it. So first of all, I just made sure where the polarizer is where I wanted it, so it cuts out a bit of glare. And then I just put the ND8 on. See how that looks, and we'll move on. It's getting a bit late now, it's about 5:10, so better crack on. Tell you what, it's very easy to dismiss a day like this because it's so flat and grey and boring and uninspiring, but let me tell you, it's what you make it. If you go out, see something you like, take a shot of it. Yes, it will look better in better light, but what if you can't get back there? This is your one chance to go and take it. Take it anyway. You might not be disappointed. Would you look at this? I've just come a little bit further along the shoreline and I'm in rock heaven. And choose your pick. You've got lovely backgrounds there looking out towards Ullswater, and you've got the mountains on the opposite side. If the water was more still, this would make fantastic photography, but you can also trick that with ND filters. There's lovely leaves floating around in the water as well. I'm sure they make good foreground interest. So I'm just going to walk along the shoreline a bit further. I can see there's some reeds of grass there. I'm just going to see if anything really jumps out. And if it does, I'll stop and set up the camera. Now, this jumps out. The only thing is it's getting quite dull in the light here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to capture the reeds moving in the water. They're swaying at the moment. So I'm just going to show you what I'm looking at. There's the little reed patch there, and I've got a tree leaning out there which kind of adds a bit of interest in the background. So I'm going to try and make that work. Now, one thing I will tell you, because all the lines are now vertical and not horizontal, this kind of commands that you use a portrait orientation on your camera. And just to give you an idea what it looks like on the back of the camera, I've kind of gone for that look. Now I might slow these ripples down a little bit because I really don't want them. The only thing is, look, can you see the reeds moving? I don't want movement, I want a still. So it might not work. I might just have to just keep coming back until I get this shot. But I'm going to have a go now because I want to see what it looks like on a bigger screen as well. So yeah, let's take this shot and see how it comes out. I'm not settled on these settings, so don't use them. I'm going to have a little play around with it a bit. Right, it might be a case of I go for something like f11 for the shot and then get something faster to capture that foreground. Drop it down to something like f5 and then get a faster shutter speed in there, up the ISO, capture that as a still, and then just leave the background as f11, try and blend it. Maybe. Let's see how it goes. set you up somewhere you can see. So the first thing I'm going to do is just try and take a shot as is. So I can see I'm overexposed. So I'm going down to half a second. Let's see how that goes. Up the RSA already, 200. Probably not enough. Probably need to go a lot higher. Let's go for 4. Then we can get the shutter up. Now the way I'm working this is every time I make an adjustment, I'm watching the histogram and I'm just bringing the highlights back until they're inside that barrier, inside the edges. Anyway, let's pack this up. I'm going to start heading back now because it's starting to drop off a little bit on the light. It's starting to get a bit dark. I'm going to leave you with this little message. If you haven't already, give me a like and subscribe, please do. I'd really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll be able to keep the videos up and keep them coming. If you haven't smashed the bell to get notified of my next video, please do. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.